What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's DigiByte analysis video. I am finally getting down to DigiByte, and I cannot believe that I have not pulled this chart up yet. Okay, we've gotten a lot of requests, and it's the first time I'm actually pulling this chart up, and damn, it is looking good not only on the USDT chart, but also on the BTC chart. Okay, now I usually like starting off with the USDT pairing because I think in this entire sort of altcoin run that we've had, I do believe that the first sort of signs of bullishness has been given to us on those USDT pairings. Okay, I'm noticing that the USDT pairings have been taking out some major points of resistance that it had been holding for a good year. Okay, now DGB is one of those coins. Like I said, it's looking good on both the pairings. We're going to first start off with those high-level horizontals. We got 1 point of resistance right here at around 2 cents, point of support right here at around 1 cent, and I'm going to draw in another point of resistance overhead. Going to make that right here at around 3 cents. Okay, now there are two bullish signatures on this chart. The first being, of course, the very apparent bull flag. Okay, but second and more important one on this chart is actually this region of support here at around 1 cent. Okay, now we only managed to take this out very recently back in April, and we have been holding it as support ever since. However, what is to note about this point of, well, support is that it was resistance before for about a year and a half. Okay, now 1.5 years of holding that region as resistance until we managed to finally take that out. That, my friends, is a very bullish sign. I feel like the markets are looking to take a turn of sorts. Okay, so that's the two more important things I'm seeing on DGB USDT on that weekly time frame. It's currently looking very good here. Let's get on to those lower time frames. I'm currently on the daily time frame. I'm going to draw in that beautiful symmetrical triangle that's marking the flag of the massive bull flag. Okay, and that's it right here. All right, so I do believe that a break of this to the upside is going to trigger this beautiful symmetrical triangle as well as that bull flag. Okay, now if we see that break to the upside on DGB USDT on that daily time frame, I'm looking for a break of this diagonal right here along with some decent volume confirmation. And if we just look at the measured move will take DGB USDT all the way up to 0.038 cents. Now the measured move, that is going to be a good 70% to the upside. Okay, it's not going to be a small move. While the range may look very small on my chart, these are good 70% trades to be had if we actually see that break. But notice the key word in that statement was if. Okay, if we see the break, I want to see a good break of the diagonal as well as this this horizontal right here at around 0.023 cents for me to start positioning myself in DGB. Okay, if we manage to get that and we see those consecutive candle body closes over those two regions, I'll be looking for further continuation to the upside. But for now, this chart is looking bullish. Okay, and if you just switch on your Mango ribbon and you look at that ribbon setup, guys, that is a bullish crossover. We have the 10 over the 21, which is over the 55. Okay, and we want to see price maintain that nice, beautiful, bullish crossover setup. If we can do that, and if price can get up to this region right here, this uppermost diagonal marking the symmetrical triangle, and we see that break, I'm saying bullish, both patterns, the symmetrical triangle, as well as that massive bull flag will get activated. Okay, now it's looking good on the USDT chart. Let's get onto the BTC chart and see what it is doing. And what did I tell you? There's a bull flag on both pairings. So now this is the massive bull flag on the BTC pairing. I'm currently on that daily time frame, but we're going to switch on over to the weekly time frame and draw in those high-level horizontals here too. I usually like sticking to a drill when I'm doing my my analysis. That way I'm a lot more organized. I know exactly what to look at, what is important and what is not, right? So, okay, so we have 1 point of resistance right here. Now, the first thing that really stands out to me is how price is currently up against major weekly resistance. Okay, now that cannot be looked over. So if you're taking a trade on DGB, just careful with that resistance. Definitely pay heed to how price reacts off of that point. Okay, now that, by the way, guys, is currently sitting at around 240 sats, give or take. Okay, so that's the immediate sort of point of resistance overhead. The next one is only going to be here at around 319 sats. And I am going to go ahead and mark out another point of support right around here. Okay, that's around 228 sats. Okay, beautiful. Now that we have our more immediate support and resistances drawn out, so let's go ahead and put on that mango ribbon. By the way, guys, the mango ribbon is completely free. Okay, you have access to a bunch of EMAs and MAs, I think 4 or 5, as well as, okay, the Ichimoku cloud. Now, for those of you who are on those basic trading view accounts, that's going to be extremely beneficial for you guys, because I do believe that there's a limit on the amount of indicators that you guys can have up on your chart at any given point in time. So this will give you access to a range of EMAs and MAs as well as the Ichimoku cloud altogether. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing on this one here, guys, is that we have a bullish crossover setup on the weekly time frame, and we are currently holding the 10 SMA as support underneath us. Okay, this is looking extremely good, and it's the 10 over the 21 over the 55. But now question is, when was the last time we got a bullish crossover between that 21 EMA and the 55 EMA? Right? If you just zoom out, the last time, guys, we got a bullish crossover was only, damn, here, December of 2017. December of 2017, and it's signs like this that's sort of telling me that the markets may want to start, you know, picking a cyclical direction of sorts, and this is like the first signs of like a revival, right? So I'm looking at things like this and I'm getting very, very excited. However, you know, everything in due time. You always want to look for a good position on trades such as these. Now, the thing with this chart, DGB BTC, is that while we are drawing in a massive bull flag, okay, it is also an extremely volatile chart. Now, this weekly candle alone was a good, you're oscillating good 37%, 20% to the upside and the downside, right? So it's extremely, extremely volatile, but let's get onto those daily timeframes and see what levels that, you know, we can look at to look at that additional sort of confirmation of whether or not we see a break to the upside. Okay, so now this is the bull flag, and once again drawn out by a beautiful symmetrical triangle forming that flag. All right, so now that is the topmost trend line. This is the bottom trend line. Okay, so now that's our flag, and if we take the measured move of this beautiful symmetrical triangle and say we break to the upside, where does that take DGB BTC up to? It'll take us up to 371 sats. Okay, so that's going to be right here, 371 sats. That is going to be a good, what is this? 55% to the upside, guys. These are not small ranges. These are going to be massive ranges. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get a good trade, and for that you have to wait on confirmation. The thing about this trade right now, if you're someone who's looking to build a position in DGB, is that we're currently hovering in the middle of a range and even up against weekly resistance. Okay, it's you either take the trade on the breakout or take it on some major level. Now, I preferably would have, you know, liked to get a trade somewhere around here. I know that this diagonal has been holding all the way since April of 2020. Okay, it's been holding, so every touch of this diagonal has been a good buy opportunity, and it's just an easy trade to manage, because for whatever reason, if price closes underneath the diagonal, you know that you have been invalidated on your trade, at which point it'll be an easy trade to get out of without taking much of a loss. But as soon as you take a trade in the middle of the range, you know, suddenly you're susceptible to all those intra-week or intraday price action that takes place that is likely to shake you out of your position, right? I mean, it could go something like this and then break to the upside. While your direction may have been right, just, you know, price has a habit of playing around with your psyche if you get in the middle of a range, right? And this is what I mean by it's a volatile chart. Like, what is this range? All the way up from this horizontal right here at around 238 sats. That was our weekly horizontal. Oops, where's my line? Okay. And down to the next region of support at around 187 sats, which also lines up with the diagonal. Okay, that's going to be a good 20%. That's a 20% range that price can very well oscillate in before it actually sees a break to the upside or to the downside. right? So you want to make sure that you're getting in at a good level. That way your trade is just an easy one to manage. But so far, DGB BTC, guys, is looking good. Okay, what I'm going to be looking for, I want to see price get all the way up to this topmost part of the diagonal. I do believe that that will solidify some level of strength for the bulls. If we do not manage to get up there and say price, for whatever reason, okay, puts in a lower high here and then comes down further, I'm going to be looking at that as weakness. The fact that we did not even see a wick up to this major horizontal here from the weekly time frame, okay, we did not even see a wick up there and we just came down from here, I'm going to be looking at that as bearish, at which point I think there's a chance that the symmetrical triangle could also break to the downside. So I want to see strength here from the bulls pushing this up to, at the very least, this horizontal right here at 238 sats. Okay, if we can get that, we see that beautiful push, we see beautiful candle body closes, consecutive candle body closes over that region. I think that this symmetrical triangle is likely to break to the upside, at which point this pattern gets activated. Remember, a pattern is only a pattern after the break. Before the break, it's just price action within a range. Okay, so I'm going to be looking on that break. If we get it, I'll be taking a position on that. Okay, but if we do not manage to get up there, we come down, I think we're likely to break this symmetrical triangle to the downside. So be careful of that. And yeah, guys, this is all I have for you for DGB USDT as well as DGB BTC. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.